Hey everyone, Zero here. In this video I want to show off the Amazoness structure deck that I made. The Amazoness are a battle-focused archetype that mainly swarm the field, weaken the opponent's monsters, and make themselves stronger along the way. I think this would be a good structure deck for those starting out. I think I'll help them get a basic understanding of the game. So with all that being said, let's just jump right in, starting with the monsters. Alright, here we have Amazoness Queen. Amazoness Queen is essentially your ace monster. She's needed for fusion summoning your Amazoness Empress, and maybe even your Amazoness Augusta. She also protects your other Amazoness monsters from battle destruction, so that's pretty helpful. Here we have Amazoness Paladin. She's a pretty standard card. She gains 100 attack for each Amazoness monsters you control, and that includes herself. She can have a pretty high attack if you have a full field. Alright, here we have a pendulum monster, Amazoness Golden Whipmaster. You could put her on the scale to help pendulum summon and also increase your other Amazoness monster's attack. And when there's an attack involving involving one of your Amazoness monsters, you can target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. She can also be placed on the scale if she's destroyed by battle or card effect while in the monster zone. And you can also special summon her from your graveyard if you special summon an Amazoness monster. And next to her, we have Amazoness Silver Swordmaster. Now, luckily for me, I don't have to explain much, because she's basically the same as Golden Whipmaster. The only difference is she lets you target a spell or trap from your graveyard and add it to your hand instead. Alright, next up we have Amazoness Warchief. Now, she's actually a pretty good searcher. She can be special summoned from your hand if you control no monsters or only control Amazoness monsters. Now, the search part comes in after she's summoned. After she's normal or special summoned, you can set one Amazoness spell or trap or a polymerization straight from your deck. Next is Amazoness Swordswoman. With her, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battle, which is pretty okay. Next here, we have Amazoness Princess. Her name becomes Amazoness Queen while on the field or graveyard. If she's normal or special summoned, you can add one Amazoness spell or trap from your deck to your hand. When she declares an attack, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon one Amazoness monster from your deck. This is good to get out your Queen or Spiritualist. Next, we have Amazoness Spy. By revealing one other Amazoness monster in your hand, you could special summon her from your hand. When she's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can return one Amazoness monster from your graveyard to the hand or deck. Next up is Amazoness Spiritualist. So with her, you can return one Amazoness card you control to your hand and then special summon this card. Which is great because if she's special summoned, you can add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. Next up, Amazoness Fighter. With her, you don't really take any battle damage from attacks involving her, which is pretty good. Next up, Amazoness Tiger. You can only control one Amazoness Tiger. It also gains 400 attack for every Amazoness monster you control, which is including itself. Your opponents can't attack any of your Amazoness monster except for this one. Fun fact, if you have both Amazoness Tiger and Amazoness Pet Liger on the field, you lock out your opponent from attacking since Pet Liger also has the same effect. Alright, next we have Amazoness Pet Tiger. While on the field or graveyard, its name becomes Amazoness Tiger. If you normal or special summon an Amazoness monster while you have this in your hand or your graveyard, you can special summon it. It also gains 100 attack for every Amazoness card in your graveyard, but I'm pretty sure it's mainly just to help you. He's just mainly just to help you get out your Amazoness Pet Liger. Next, Amazoness Chainmaster. Now, she has a pretty solid effect, I think. When she's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can pay 1,500 life points to take a monster card from your opponent's hand, if they have one in their hand, of course. This is great to take your opponent's god card from them. Just, make sure you know the ancient chant to summon said god. Now we have Amazoness Sage. She could destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls if she attacked and stayed on the field, which is pretty okay. You probably just got to get her attack up a bit more to do that. Now here we have Amazoness Scouts. If you tribute them, they protect your Amazoness monsters from target effects and destruction effects for that one turn. So that's pretty good to protect your monsters. Alright, here we have Amazoness Trainee. She has a pretty good effect of sending the monsters she destroys to the bottom of the deck instead of the graveyard. This is good to prevent any graveyard effects your opponent had planned. She also gains 200 attack in the process. Alright, so now these next few monsters I'm going to show aren't part of the Amazoness archetype, but I think they'll be a great help. I even tried to keep the female warrior theme they had going. Alright, so here we have Warrock Skylar. She gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls, but she can also special summon a level 5 or lower warrior monster from your graveyard. Here we have Rookie Warrior Lady. She has an effect similar to Honest, but instead of increasing your monster's attack, she lowers your opponent's monster. You can also banish her from your graveyard to add one Earth Warrior monster from your graveyard to your hand. Here we have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This hand trap doesn't really need any explanation, but I will for this first time. Just by discarding her, you can stop your opponent from either adding a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, or sending a card from the deck to the graveyard. Alright, so for this next one we have Humongous the Sticky Strings Kaiju. So I know I said I kept the deck in theme, but my excuse here is you don't use it yourself. You tribute one of your opponent's monster and summon it on their field. This is a good way to get rid of one of your opponent's monster that's getting on your nerves. So that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So to start off with the spells, here we have Amazoness Call. This quick play spell card lets you take one Amazoness card from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can also banish it from your graveyard to let one of your Amazoness monsters attack all of your opponent's monsters. The downside of this is you can't attack with any other monsters you have on the field. Here we have Battle Guard Echoes. Once you activate this card, you can add one level 5 Earth Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. Also, if a monster is returned from the field to the hand, you can either add one Battle Guard Howling, from your deck to your hand, or change one face-up monster on the field to face-down defense position. Now we have the field spell Amazoness Village. This field spell boosts your Amazoness attack by 200, but it also allows you to special summon one Amazoness monster from your deck with a level less than or equal to an Amazoness that was just destroyed. Here we have Amazoness Fighting Spirit. This continuous spell is like Skyscraper. When you attack a monster that has more attack points, then your attacking Amazoness gains 1,000 attack points doing the damage calculation. This is helpful to get you over some monsters that are just a little bit over what you have right now. Here we have the equip spell Amazoness Heirloom. This is an Amazoness equip spell that protects your monster from being destroyed by battle the first time. If your Amazoness attacked, then the monster she attacked would be destroyed. Here's another equip spell that would greatly help. Magnum Shield. It applies different effects depending on the monster's position. In attack position, it gains attack equal to its defense. In defense position, it gains defense equal to its attack. Here's another equip spell here for warrior monsters. Fusion Sword Marasame Blade. It'll gain 800 attack and also protect them from destruction effects. Here's another attack boost spell. the A forces. This will boost your warrior monster's attack by 200 for each one you control. So those numbers will add up by a lot the more you have on your field. Next up, terraforming. This is good for searching out your field spell mostly. Well, that's not mostly, but that's all it can do. Alright, here we have a really good one. Lightning Storm. This is a staple. That's great for going second. As long as you control no face-up cards you can either destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls, or destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. Here we have Polymerization. This will be needed for your fusion summoning. Here's Reinforcement of the Army. This will be needed for searching any of your level 4 or lower warrior monsters. Here's Double Summon. It's self-explanatory. Conduct 2 normal summons. Here we have Monster Reborn. This is good to special summon one of your monsters from the grave, or you can make it personal and take one of your opponent's monsters from their grave. Here we have Amazoness Secret Arts. This helps you fusion summon your monsters twice, actually. The first time like normal by having materials in your hand or field. The second time by banishing it, and it allows you to use fusion monsters in your extra deck as material. I'm pretty sure this is mainly to help you get out Amazoness Augusta. Now onto the traps. We have here Amazoness Onslaught. This continuous trap lets you special summon an Amazoness from your hand and increase her attack by 500 for that turn. If this card is already face up when you attack, it banishes the attacked monster. And when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon any Amazoness from your graveyard. Now, as we mentioned earlier, we have Battle Guard Howling. When your warrior monster is targeted for an attack, this card targets one face-up monster your opponent controls, inflicts damage to them equal to the targeted monster's attack, then it returns it to the hand. Here we have another Amazoness trap card, Dramatic Rescue. This is good to save one of your Amazoness monsters that's targeted by a card effect. You return your targeted monster to the hand, and if you do, special summon one other monster from your hand. Here we have Call of the Haunted. We've seen this card before. Special summon one monster from your grave. Not too much going on for it. And here we have Draining Shield. This is a good card to stop an attack and gave life points in the process. Alright, now lastly, we're going to go straight to the extra deck monsters. Now here is your boss monster. For her materials, you'll need one Amazoness Fusion monster and one Amazoness monster. If you use Amazoness Empress or Amazoness Queen as material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. And if she was fusion summoned, then you can special summon one Amazoness from your deck. She can also protect your other Amazoness monsters from being targeted and from destruction effects. Alright, here we have Amazoness Pet Liger King. Their materials are one level 5 or higher Amazoness monster and one Amazoness monster. Your opponent can't attack your monsters except this one. With it, you can target one Amazoness card you control and one Amazoness warrior in your graveyard. You destroy the card on the field, then special summon the one from your graveyard. Although this card can't attack the turn you activate this effect, so there's that downside. Alright. Next up, Amazoness Empress. Her materials are Amazoness Queen and one Amazoness monster. She prevents your other Amazoness monsters from being destroyed by battle and card effects. She also grants Amazoness monsters piercing damage. And if she leaves the field because of your opponent, then you can special summon one Amazoness Queen from your hand, deck, or graveyard, getting her back out. Lastly, we have Amazoness Pet Liger. Their materials are Amazoness Tiger and one Amazoness monster. Once per battle, you can give it 500 attack during damage calculations. Also, if your Amazoness monster attacks your opponent's monster, then you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and it loses 800 attack. And as mentioned before, your opponent can't attack your Amazoness except this one. And that's it for my Amazon Structure deck idea. I hope you guys like that showcase, and I hope you look forward to the next one. Leave a comment, leave a like and comment of what you thought. Thanks, and see you next time.